expired. Chair now recognizes Mr. Higgins from Louisiana for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Bobulinski, thank you for being here today, and we appreciate the candor of your responses, sir, which is reflective of the way you handled yourself in private testimony and deposition. So I thank you for communicating truthfully to the American people today. I'm going to ask you about the China Energy Fund Committee, the CEFC. You familiar with that, sir?
I am.
Was this a multi-billion-dollar company, like a Fortune 500 company at one time?
It's even bigger than that. If you go back and look at its financials in 2016 and 17, it was probably one of the 5 largest private companies in China. So
exactly. So this was a major operation that had a lot of money, and apparently, I'm going to hold up a memo here from this is a chart from the second bank memo, and it shows disbursement of a total of almost $24 million for diamonds. So you have a major Chinese company spending a lot of money on diamonds, and apparently diamonds were used as a means of payment for the Biden family. We know that the Bidens have testified that admitted to having 2 diamonds. We suspect that there are many, many more, $23 million worth of diamonds. Are you familiar with the exchange of valuable assets to pay the Bidens other than electronic transfers of monies? Are you aware of payments in diamonds, payment in cash, payment in board memberships, et cetera?
am I generally aware of it,
Yes,
or was
sir.
I involved? Yeah, I read Jim Biden's and Hunter Biden's transcript multiple times. Jim Biden in that transcript references 2 diamonds that were given to Hunter Biden. One, he implies, was in 2015 by an individual who he couldn't recall his name, but the individual's name is Scott O., who was a surrogate for CEFC. And then apparently a second diamond was given at a meeting in Miami, and I really want to set the record clear. I was not at that physical meeting. I was in Miami, but I was not at that physical meeting. That's what I told the FBI in my transcribed interview.
Are you aware, Mr. Bobulinski, of a pattern of bribery, of bribe payments coming from the China Energy Fund Committee?
I appreciate that question. I wish everyone on this committee would read the 1,200 pages of testimony in an 8-day trial in the SDNY where Mr. Goldman used to work while the actual trial was going on, that accused numerous executives, ultimately Patrick Ho, of corruption, bribing, leaving shoeboxes of cash to a variety of political figures in Africa.
Exactly. So, Mr. Bobulinski, from your perch within the Biden family operations and their interactions with major businesses in China and the exchange of millions of dollars that are known. We've tracked them through bank records, through suspicious activity reports, through emails, through communications that this committee has documented. There's no debate that millions and millions of dollars flowed into the Biden family's bank accounts. But the existence of other forms of payment is fascinating, because diamonds are untraceable. We really don't know how many diamonds the Bidens received, do we?
We don't. And for somebody who's been to mainland China probably 10+ times, Hong Kong probably 15+ times, I had hundreds of people, Congressman, I had hundreds of people working for me in mainland China. At one point, I never got a diamond from any businessman or woman.
So, Mr. Bobulinski, I shift quickly to a text message. Are you familiar with this? It's from a gentleman named James.
Generally, yes.
Yes, says, don't mention Joe being involved. It's only when you're face to face. I know you know that, but they are paranoid. And there's a response saying, okay, they should be paranoid about things. And then there's a response saying, for real. So what is meant by don't mention Joe being involved? It's only when you're face to face. I know you know that, but they are paranoid.
Well, I think it outlines how the Bidens operated, not specifically just with CEFC. You have Galanis here testifying and numerous other witnesses that have given you tremendous amount of evidence that outline they worked to obfuscate it, create layers of obstruction. That's the reason why Rob Walker was getting sent millions of dollars instead of Hunter Biden directly. That's the reason why Devin Archer was receiving millions of dollars instead of going to Hunter directly. You guys have a mountain of evidence that stacks high and answers that question on how they obfuscated. They lived in a world of plausible deniability.
Thank you, Mr. Bobulinski. Mr. Chairman, my time has expired. I yield.
Chair now recognizes Ms. Norton from D.C. for 5 minutes.